introduce our resource person of the day, Dr. Sishank Sahu. Dr. Sishank Sahu is a distinguished professional with a rich academic background and over two decades of experience in the fields of computer science. Dr. Sahu obtained his engineering degree in computer science from North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon, in 1996. In 2010, he furthered his education by earning an MTech degree in computer science and engineering from Gautam Buddha Technical University, Lucknow. Demonstrating our commitment to academic excellence, Dr. Sahu completed his PhD in computer science and engineering from Sardha University, Greater Noida. Currently, Dr. Sahu holds the esteemed position of professor in the CSC department at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. With an impressive track record, he has contributed significantly to the academic community over the course of 24 years. Dr. Sahu's extensive portfolio include over 45 publications in esteemed national and international journal and conferences. Additionally, he has provided guidance to numerous MTech students. Dr. Sahu's research interests span a wide range of topics, including software engineering, technology, intelligent agent, and object-oriented programming. His dedication to advancing knowledge in this area has to profound impact on academic and research community. Now, I would like to invite Sir for this session.
Thank you, Anubhav. Thank you. Ritesh sir, may I start now? Hello.
Ye- yes, sir. Please tell me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think I have already given a link for some of the software like Anaconda and Jupyter. So I get the message some students are facing the problem and the faculty are facing the problem in installing the Anaconda. So I'm just giving a brief about how to install the Anaconda. Am I audible to everyone? Hello, just confirm
Yes,
me.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, my voice is clear.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Pretty much clear.
Okay. So I just giving an idea about how to install the Anaconda. So yesterday I have shared this MS Word file and I have given the link for to download the Anaconda. Basically, Anaconda is a package. I'm just showing the link for it. This is the link here. You can install the Anaconda first, and these are the installation instructions are already given, and you can download the Anaconda installer. First, understand installer is a small software. When you download the Anaconda installer and when you double click and run this Anaconda installer, it will again download the Anaconda full package, full software. It will take time. So you should have a patience for downloading the Anaconda. Then there are some instructions are mentioned and you follow it. One important point that I want to highlight you, it is a 64-bit operating system. So if your computer has the window of 32-bit, then it is difficult to install the Anaconda. Okay, so make sure that the window operating system that we install in your computer should have a 64-bit and the computer have a good configuration, at least i3 processor. Below i3 processor, it is difficult to install the Anaconda because it is a heavy software and it should be installed first to run the Jupyter. Okay, so these are the instructions are given. Anyone is facing the problem in installing the Anaconda? Hello, may write in the chat box. Hi, yes, Anmol, what was the problem?
No, all good, sir. Has been downloaded.
It is installed.
No, I said it has been downloaded, sir. Not an issue.
Not getting your question. Hello, anyone is facing the problem in installing the Anaconda?
No, sir.
Okay. So I assuming Anaconda is already installed, and then we need to install the Jupyter. So to install the Jupyter, we need to launch the Anaconda Navigator. I'm showing in my system. This is the Anaconda Navigator. When you double click it, it will take time. Okay, this is the Anaconda Navigator. Navigator is a bunch of the software, and you can install any software with the help of Anaconda Navigator. Now here we have a Jupyter. So this is the Jupyter. It is already installed in my system. So it is showing the option of launch the Jupyter. If it is not installed in your system, then it will show the install option here. And when you click here, the Jupyter will be installed in your system. Okay. So one way is you can launch the Jupyter from with the help of Anaconda Navigator, and just click here. This is the Jupyter has been already launched, and now important part before learning the Python, you must know in which software we are going to learn today in this session. Today most of the practical I will perform in the Jupyter. Jupyter is a web-based application. It is not a desktop application, so it will be open in the browser. Okay. So when the Jupyter will be launched, you can start a new file with the help of click here new, and Python 3 is the recent version. So you click a notepad of the Jupyter will be installed. It will be open. Now you can do the programming here. That I will tell you in during my PPT presentation. So this is the way you can install the Jupyter, and you can launch the Jupyter. Other ways, if Jupyter is already installed in your system, so you just in the search box, just write down the Jupyter and double click it. It will be open here. So this is the two way. Either you go with the Anaconda Navigator, or you go with the directly just typing the Jupyter in MS Word search engine, and it will open the Jupyter notebook, and now you can do the programming. So I think I am assuming not all, some of the participant have already installed the Jupyter. May confirm in the chat box. Some of the participants have installed the Jupyter, because my next presentation is totally based on the Jupyter. Okay. So I will share some code to you, and you will run that code directly in your Jupyter notebook. So it will be easier for you to understand what is the Python. So I'm going to start with the Python programming. Yes, my PPT is visible to everyone. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now today we'll learn what is the Python basics. Before going in some advanced version of the application related to machine learning, it is better to know how to write the program in the Python. So Python is basically it is a programming language. As I think you know today, everyone know programming language is the language to develop the software, and it is a very good advanced language, and by which we can do web application, and we can do simple software, and it can do we can do research. We can apply the Python in the research also. So it's just a small history is it is created by Von Rossum and released in 1991. And Python is a web development. It is a server-side programming. So server-side programming meaning is to run the Python, we must have a server. Like I just making a comparison of Python with the HTML. When you write the program in HTML, it is not required. Any server software is not required. You write the HTML page, run in the browser, and your HTML program will run. But when you write the program in the Python, we need a server program must be installed in your system. Okay. So like when you install the Anaconda and when you install the Jupyter notebook, Python in background is already installed. When you run any code in the Jupyter, it is basically run by the server. So these are two basic differences why the Python is server-based programming, and we can write website development. Now, why Python is something different from C and C++? Because of its readability. It is like a English language. You just type in English language and the program is executed. Like in C and C++ programming language, I am assuming you have some little bit idea about C and C++ programming language. So if you write the code in C and C++, then you need to follow a strict syntax for running a program, which is has been relaxed in this Python programming language. Now, like in C language, there is a need for semicolon must be there after the each statement to complete, or you can say to end of a statement in the C language. But in the Python, you just type it and go to the next line. Your Python sentence will be completed. And one important point for the Python is indentation. Like in C, we are using the curly bracket like this way, and but in Python there is no curly bracket, as is no parenthesis. We are using white space, and indentation is used to define the scope. So it gives a very easy way of the programming. Second part, Python file. So when we save any C program, we are saving with the .c extension. So Python program will save with the .py. Py represent that it is a Python file, and you can run the Python file with the typing Python and name of the file. One thing I'm telling you sometime when you install the Windows operating system, Python is by default has been installed. So if by default installed, then you can run the file directly with the help of typing Python and name of the file. If it is not installed by default in Windows operating system, then it is the one way is to install the Anaconda package and then install the Jupyter notebook. You can take any notebook, not necessary to use only Jupyter notebook for writing the Python programming. You can take anything. Now, Python indentation. So I will learn what is the meaning of indentation is there. So it is a simple if statement. You can see here. In the if statement, we have A is greater than B, then print is taking some space. Just hold on, I'm taking. So here you can see there is some space is there. This is called the indentation. So I'm showing in the program what is the advantage of this indentation is there. Now this is a simple Jupyter notebook. I have used the variable A is created with the value of 5, then B is created with the value of 4. Then I have given some indentation here. If A is greater than B, then it will display the print statement hello Karian is. So if I remove this indentation, let's remove it. And if we run the program, so it is giving the error. Are you able to see it? Hello? Just give
Yes,
me.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see the power of indentation in the Python. Okay. And when I give the space one, again it gives an error. If you give space two, it give an error. Space three, again it gave an error. Space four.
Yes,
then
sir.
there is a one more space, then there is a no error. The point. So minimum four space is required. That is called the indentation. Hello. Now understand this point. Okay, if someone want to run this code, I can paste this code in the chat box. Hello. I have got some interactive section.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm putting this code in the chat box. Yes. So it is here. The code is available there. You can copy this code and run your Jupyter notebook. So this is regarding the power of indentation. Next, you can understand that I already discussed. If you are not given the space here, if not providing the indentation, then we cannot understand the Python cannot understand this statement is the part of if statement. See, in any other language like in C, C++, generally we are using the curly bracket, but here indentation is an important part of Python programming. If you forget to give the proper indentation, your program will not run. Next, creating the variables is a very simple. Just write here name of the variable like x and we are assigning the value. There is no need to give the type of the variable. 6 is the integer and automatically the type of the variable x will be integer. So it is a simple. In other programming language, you need to define int, you need to define float explicitly to define that this variable is of particular type. Here it is not required. Like Amit is a of type string, then it will be automatically assigned to the y and y the type of the variable become of string type. So here in the Python, because of easy programming, the variable type is automatically decided by the value that you are assigned to the variables. However, if you want to explicitly assign the type of a variable to a variable, then you can use the str just to explicitly telling that Amit is of type string. So x, the variable will be of type string. 3 is of type integer, then you can use int here and it is of type, the variable of y type will be integer and similarly for the float. Now get the type of a variable x, so you can use the type function to find out the type of a variable. So we have a Jupyter notebook. Just see an example. This is the Amit is defined here, integer is defined here, float is defined here. So when you run this variable, so it will x, y, z, the value will be assigned. And if you want to take the type of the x, so it is showing the type of the variable x of is of string. So here, if you change the variable y here, then type of the variable will be integer. You can change the variable z here, so type of the variable will display here. So you can see here, it depends upon you. It is your choice, either you use explicitly defining the type of a variable or not. Now if you want to display the value of a variable, you just type the x, the value of the variable x will be displayed, and if you type the y, so y of the variable will be displayed here. Okay. Either any other participant are practicing for this Jupyter or not? Just give me the response. Some are participants are practicing on Jupyter.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are doing with me. Hello.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
try to do it. That is more learning to all of you, because just discussing on the PPT is one way of the learning, and doing the practical at the same time is the other way of the learning. It give more enhancement knowledge. Okay. So I discuss about how to define the type of a variable. Okay. Next, now Amit is of string. and we know we can access each character of a string with the help of index. So print is the function to display a value. A is the variable which will store the Amit, and I want to give the index number. So A start from 0, it is a 1, it is a 2, and it is a 3. So A at the index 0, M at the index 1, and always in the programming language, any array of the character will start, index will start from 0, not from 1. So remember it. So I want to display only the M. So we are using index 1 and we are using the bracket here. Then it will display only the M here. If you want to display A, just we are using index 0 and it will display the A here. So you have the flexibility in a string to take any character from the string and display it, but need to take care about the indexing. Indexing will start from 0 onwards. Okay. Next is Python has a many predefined functions. One of the function and is to find out the length of a string. So print just to display the value, and length is the name of the function. We are passing the variable a, which consists of Amit, the string name. So it will display the length of string like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will display the 4 is the number of characters in the string. Next, we need to find out some substring from a string. Here I am discussing some important concept of the Python. We want to find out whether mi is the substring, is present in a variable or not. So we have written mi, and in is the power. In is the operator, or you can say understand. It will check whether mi is present in A or not. If it is present, so it will display true, otherwise it will display false. Now, before going with the next session, I just want to show you in the Jupyter. This is the mi, and we have defined already x is of Amit, and we need to find out whether mi is present in x or not. So we just run the program. It is showing the true. And there is a one more aspect is not in x. If mi is not in x, but it is there, so it will display the false message. So it is running the false here. Okay. So till now I discuss what is the indentation is an important part of Python programming. Then I discuss the type of the variable, how to create the variables. Then I discuss if in a string variable we can access each character with the help of the indexing of the characters, like index start from 0, 1, 2 onwards. Next, in the research, that the next part that I'm going to discuss is a very important, is to access a string with the help of a range. So here we can say B is equal to Rajesh Kumar, and I want to access some of the characters of this string. So we know string start from 0 onwards. Okay, I want to access some of the characters, so it will start from index 2, for example, and up to index 5. So here we are using the colon here. So we can define the range of index in the Python, and starting index as well as ending index. And important is the index number 5 is not included. So it will take the value from index number 2, 3, 4. The 5 part is not there. So it will 0, 1, 2. So it will display J, E, and S. H will not included. So because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, H is at the 5. 5 is not included. So end of the index is not included. It is not the part of the range. It is mentioned but not included. So this is the one way of giving the range. Now the second way of giving the range, no need to give any starting index, and we are just giving the ending index. So what will happen? It will automatically start from the beginning. Then there is a third way of giving the range. In the third way of giving the range, we have given only the starting index. Ending index is not mentioned. Okay, so it will start from index 2 up to the end of the string. So this way we can give only one value in the range, and second value will be automatically decided. So there are three way: either give start and ending index, no need to give the beginning index, no need to give the ending index. The fourth way of giving the index is minus. You can give the number in index in the minus form, like -5 and -2. Its meaning is that we are accessing the character of a string from end of the string backward. Okay, so here the one meaning is you can see is this is the -1. It is -1, it is -2, it is -3, like this one, and -5 will start from -5 to -2. Whatever the value will be there, it will display. So there are four way of range. We are giving a starting and ending index, giving without starting index, we are giving without ending index, and we can give the index in the negative number format. Yes, any query regarding this? This is technically called, yes, any query? Okay, this is called slicing of the string. That is, we are taking the substring from a string. So a technical name is given like slicing of a string. I'm showing in the Jupyter notebook also how to run this program. Now here you can see Rajesh Kumar is the name of a string which is given in the B, and range is 2 to 5. So when you run this program, it will display the JES. You can change here. You are giving 1 and we are giving 4. And you run this program. So 0, 1, A, then J, then E, and fourth index is not included. Okay. Now here we have given no index, beginning is not given, ending is not given, and either -5 is mentioned. So this my k is at the -5, then you are using -3, and you are using -2. So this is the way we are -5, -4, and -3. So it will take from -5, -4, and -3. -2 is not included. So it is displaying the string of KUM. So next important part of Python is for built-in data structure. It is something different from any programming language. The first one is the list. Second is we have the tuple. Then we have the set and the dictionary. When you perform the research work, these four data structures are very important. So list basically store multiple items in a single variable. So earlier what we are doing, we are storing one value, one variable, like here, one value, one variable, here, one value, one variable. I want to store all these values in one variable. So we are using the list data structure. So in this list we have three values: CSC, IT. Suppose I want to create a list of the branches, so we can have a CSC branch, IT branch, C branch, and it will be stored in one branch variable. And important is we must use the bracket. If you are using the bracket, then meaning is you are using the list. And not necessary you have only a string, you can have the numbers also, and you can have the boolean value true, false, and false. And again, very important part, in a list you can have the multiple data structure. multiple data types. Like we have a string value, we have an integer value also, and we have a boolean value also. So a list can have a same type of item and it can have a different type of item also. Let's see it, any question related to list. So important part is you must include the items within the square bracket. If items are in square brackets, meaning you are using the list. Next is how will you access the list? So indexing, we are using the utilizing the indexing power. So branch is the name of the list, and one meaning again the list item will start from 0 onwards. So if you want to display the first item, that is 0 1, it will display the IT. And if you are using the minus one, this is minus one meaning is we are taking the list from end of the list, from ending. So it is the minus one is mentioned, it is a minus two likewise. And we can provide the range also 2 and 5 starting and ending, and we can provide the negative range also. So the this range concept that I discussed recently, it is general. You can apply in the string, you can apply in the list, you can apply in the tuple, you can apply in the dictionary, you can apply anywhere in the Python. These are the four general form to access any list of the items, any list of the string, anything. So we have a starting index, ending index, and these are the four different forms. And same form we can use here also. You can see we are taking only one value, we are taking the range, and we are taking the negative numbers also. Next is a tuple. Tuple is a collection of list and it is ordered. List is also ordered. Ordered meaning is the way you define, it will display as it is. Like CSC is defined first, then when you display the branch list, it will display CSC first, then it will display IT, then it will display the EC. This meaning is called the ordered list. Similarly, the tuple is also a ordered list, but only the important part is it is unchangeable. You cannot change the tuple. In the list, you can add the items, you can remove the items, but in the tuple, you cannot change anything. Once it is created, you cannot add or you cannot remove the item from the tuple. This is the basic difference between list and tuple. So tuples are written with the round brackets. So we are here, you are using the round brackets in case of tuple. And when the tuple is created, it cannot be changed. It cannot be modified. The basic difference between list and tuple. In the tuple, you can have the numbers also. In the tuple, you can have the Boolean value also. In the tuple, you can have the mix of the data type, like you have string, you have numbers also, you can have Boolean value. As in the list, it is also possible. As in the tuple, it is also possible. So basic difference is between list and tuple is that the tuple you cannot modify it, but list you can modify it. The similarity between both the built-in data structure is that both are ordered. Ordered meaning is the way you have written will display as it is. Now, sometime it becomes necessary to change the tuple. Then there is a trick. The trick is we are converting the tuple into a list. So this is the way we are converting the tuple. X is the tuple, and we use the list is the casting. Casting we need meaning is to make a variable into different data types. So X is converted into the list Y, then just change it. We are making the one of the value is kite at index 1. So after the AKGM, one value will be inserted, that is called kite. Then use the tuple costing. So again, y is converted into the tuple x. Then you can print the x. So I'm showing in the Jupyter notebook. So here you can see we have the list is here. So here you can add some more branch like en. So we are using the bracket here for the list, and we are using print branch. When you run this, so it is showing the output CSC, IT, EC, and AN. Okay. Next, changing in the tuple by converting into the list, the program that I have recently mentioned. I'm just giving this program in your chat box, so you can try for it. Then go to the Jupyter notebook. Here you can see AKGM, AKGC, ABC is there, and list is converted. Now I make change at the position 2, and when we run the program, you can see now 0, 1, 2. It is at the position of 2. So got the point. The tuple cannot be changed, so we have to need to convert into the list is there. Now I discuss about two building data structure. One is list, second is tuple, and third data structure is set. So it is also a collection of items. It is unordered. Meaning is the way you type, not necessarily display as it is. When you run this set, try to display on the Jupyter notebook anywhere. So not necessarily DBMS will display first. It may display SE first. These are the subject name DBMS, software engineering, artificial intelligence. So this is the meaning of unordered. Meaning when you display this subject, AI may display first, then SE may display first, or in some second round of running, maybe the DBMS will display first, then AI, then SE. So this is the meaning of unordered. Earlier, in case of list and tuple, both are ordered. The way you type, it will display. In case of unordered, the way you type will not display. Display according to the choice of Jupyter or the server. Next is it is unchangeable, meaning we cannot add or remove item from the set. And it is unindexed. No indexing is possible. Something is changing at the runtime, we cannot provide any index. And do not allow the duplicate value. So in the set, unordered, unchangeable, unindexed. So I mention here for your understanding, unordered means that the item in the set do not have a defined order. Set items can appear in a different order every time you use them and cannot be referred to by the index. So when its order will be changed at the runtime, you cannot provide the index. Therefore, it is called unindexed. Now, one important part is the for loop that I'm going to discuss to all of you is a general approach to access any data structure. Like you can use the list also, you can use the tuple also, and you can use the same thing in the set also. So this is the this is the set name is subject, and I use a for loop, defined a variable x in the subject is the set. So x variable will navigate, or you can say it will move from each element of the set. Like it will go first at DBMS, then SE, then AI, or it may go SE first and AI, then DBMS. That depends upon, or it may display the same sequence DBMS, SE, and AI. That depends upon, or you can say server whenever we are running the set. Okay. So I just showing the output for it. So the set is mentioned here. This is the set. I just make a change so that the change will be visible to all of you. Like da is one of the subject. I make the changes. You can see it is showing SC, DBMS, AI, and DA. So here it is showing the sequence, but not necessary every time it is showing the sequence. This is the here this time you can see SC is written first, but it is showing the DBMS. Then DA is written last, but it is showing the DA second position. Then we have AI in SE. So this is the set which is unindexed, unordered. But it is not possible in case of list and tuple which are ordered as you type, as you written will display as it is. If you run again, maybe some other output will be there. It is showing this time the same out. It is possible. Okay. I think you got the difference between ordered and unordered. Any student? Yeah, any participant? Hello, hello.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Got the difference? What is the difference between ordered and unordered? Hello. Ordered meaning is the way you type, you create the list will be displayed as it is. And in case of unordered, when you the way you written the items in the list or in the set, its order is not defined. At the time of running, the order will be different. You got the point?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay. So I discussed about three data structures till now. One is list, tuple, and set. The fourth is dictionary. So dictionary is basically it has a two thing. One is key, second is value, and dictionary is ordered. I think you all know the difference between ordered and unordered right now, and it is a changeable. Do not allow the duplicates. So in case of dictionary, we are using the brackets. These are curly brackets, and it is a key. It is a key. So the key value is DBMS, and we are creating the dictionary which name of the faculty who is teaching a particular subject. So, for example, DBMS, Amit is teaching that subject DBMS, Rajesh is teaching the subject software engineering, and Deepthi is teaching the subject artificial intelligence. Okay, so we have the key value and we have the value here, and we are using the colon here. So when we define the dictionary, so we are using the pair of a value. One is for the key and second is for the value. Now to access the item in the dictionary, we are using the key here. Just give the key value here. Just using the key value here, and it will display the respective output. It will display the Amit is the faculty who is teaching DBMS. Then we can assign the name of the faculty. We can add the new item in the dictionary. DS meaning is data structure, and name of the faculty is Anush. So this will be added in your dictionary. And you can remove an item from the dictionary also. To remove an item from a dictionary, we are using pop function and give the name of the key. Here the name of the key is DBMS, then DBMS item, or you can say its key value will be removed from the dictionary. So pop is used to remove any item from the dictionary, and we are using the name of the key and assign the value in a respective key, then new item will be added. So now in general, looping in the list, tuples, set, and dictionary. It is a general concept to loop or you want to display any item from these four important data structure is just use simple for loop for x in and name of the list. Here you can give name of the tuple. Here you can give similarly for set and dictionary, and just use the print x. So it will display the value. In case of dictionary, if you are using x, it will display only the key value. If you are using sub fact is the name of the dictionary and we are indexing with the help of the x variable, then it will display the value here. So we go ahead with the Python function. So till now I discuss about what is basic of Python, and then I discuss about four important data structure: list, tuple, set, and dictionary. Now moving ahead with the new concept of the Python is defining the function. Function is basically is a set of statement that perform one single task. So like I want to display a message, hello, how are you? And we want to define a function for it, then you have to write the def here. Def is a keyword. And name of the function is user defined. This is function one, it can be function one, it can be function two. And we are using the parenthesis, then we are using the colon. Then you must have the indentation, then write any number of statements here. So here we can define the function here. Function one is defined. So the first step is to define a function. Second step is to call a function. Okay. So the way the function is defined with the help of the keyword, and when you define the name of the function, with the help of name of the function, you can call the function. Second, we can pass the arguments to the function also. In the first one, there is a no argument. You can see the parentheses are blank. Here we can pass the two argument like f name and l name. It is user defined. Function one is also user defined. So this function will receive two arguments, and then we are using a string hello. Then we are displaying the first name and last name and displaying a message, how are you? Okay, like this is the function is defined. When we are using calling the function, we need to pass the two arguments. Remember, if two parameters are defined in function definition, then it is important to pass with the two arguments. First, Raju will be mapped with the parameter f name, and Sharma will map with the parameter l name. So these two will be replaced here when we are running the program. So showing the program here. So see the function is defined. This is the simple function. We are using div function one, hello, how are you? So when you run this program, the function is defined, but there is no output here. Output will be there when we call the function. So we need to call the function here, then the output is showing. Okay. Next is we have the two arguments here, f name and last name. And here we are defining the function. So when you define the function here and when we run it, there will be no output because it is only defining a function. You get the output only when we are calling a function. So function one is called with two parameters. I just change the names, then you can see see the output. And when we are calling the function, you can see the output is changed. Hello, Ram Verma, how are you? Okay. So this is way to define the function in the Python. First, you define the function, then call the function. So earlier I just discussed about the dictionary. I just want to show in your Jupyter. This is the way to define the dictionary. We are using the key value and we are using the value for a particular key. So DBMS is key and Rajesh is the value. SE is the key and Amit is the value. So just dictionary has been created. Then you can display the dictionary here. Then you can add this ds. Ds means data structure, and the name of this faculty who is teaching the data structure is Anuj. Okay, so I just change the name, like, so you can observe the differences, and you can see here in the ds I changed the name from Anuj to Mukesh. So when we run this program, so you can see ds is changed from the Mukesh. Now you can see DBMS want to remove, then we are using the pop-up function. Now this time I want to remove AI. AI, and we are running here. You can see AI has been removed. So now you can see we have SC, soft engineering, DS, and DBMS. And we are using the for loop just to navigate from each element to display the value. So this is the way to display the values here. So that I discuss in the PPT in the related to dictionary. What is the how to add value in the dictionary and how to remove the value from the dictionary. Then I discuss how to define the function and how to call the functions. Next part is lambda function. Lambda basically is anonymous function. Anonymous function meaning is the function which has no name. Like in previous, name of the function is here function 1. We are defining with the help of def keyword. Now I want to define a function without a name. We call as an anonymous function. Then we are using the lambda keyword, and we call as a lambda function. It has three part. The first part is name of the lambda. Second part is the variable, and third part is the expression. We can have only one expression here. We have to use the colon to separate the name of the variable and the expression. So a, or you can say a type of function, it is a type of lambda function which will take only one value, and this value will be executed in this expression. So when we get the value of x, the value will be added to 20 and will display the output. So 5 is the value we are giving to the x, and x5 will be added to the 20, it will display 25. Now you can have more than one variable also. So we have here two variable x and y, and we have written the expression related to both the variables. Not necessary you write the expression with all the variables. You can write the expression with few variables, but there is no use to putting that variables in the lambda function. So it is better if you are using both the variables here, then you must write the expression with all the variables. Now, as it will take two variables, so we need to pass the two value 5 and 10. So 5 will be given to x and 10 will be given to the y, and accordingly the expression is evaluated. Next is lambda. We can have three variables also, x, y, z. It is your choice. You can have any number of variables, and accordingly the expression is written. So the difference between lambda function and simple function is that in case of lambda function, no name of the function is mentioned. Plus we can have the expression also in the lambda function. It is basically to define a limited functionality. When the functionality of a particular task is, or you can say it consists of more statements, then better to use the def keyword to define a function. So that I discussed, the lambda is for the small functionality. That I'm going to discuss how to use the lambda function. So here you can see we have defining a one function one, and we are passing the variable n here, and we want to return after calculation of some expression. Expression is x multiplied by n. n will be is the argument of function, and x is the argument of lambda. So one function is defined. Within that function, we have the lambda function. It is possible. Within a function, we can define one more function. Now, first of all, we need to have a variable of this function. So here basically should be function 1. It is a function 1. Just make the correction. So we are using the function 1, and we are passing the 2. So 2 will be given to the variable of x, and a pq function is created, which is representation of this function 1. In the pq, we are passing the value of n. N is the 10. So this 10 will be mapped to the n, and this 2 will be mapped to the x. So we have both the value. 2 into multiplied by 10, it will display the value of 20. Okay. So when we are using this lambda function within a function, then it is give the flexibility. We can modify the 10 with any number of times with the help of the expression. So I'm showing some outcome in the coding. So here you can see this is the lambda function with the value of x plus y plus z. So my screen is visual to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, sir. Visible.
Now it is more visible. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Clearly.
So here you can see we are using the lambda with three variable x, y, z, and we have given expression here. You can change the expression according to your choice. For example, plus. Then we are using the variable 5, 20, 30 as per your requirement. Then we are running the program. To run the program, we can use shift and enter also. Program is running here. This is the simple way of using the lambda in the Jupyter. Then we are using one function 1n, and we are defining a lambda function x into n, and we are creating here my function. It should just hold on. It should have. You are getting which type of error is here? Any student can tell me that why this showing my function is not defined? Any participant? Hello. Here the error is the name of the function is function 1, and we are calling with the my function. So it is a wrong. It should be function 1. Okay, then we are running it. Now you can see it is running. So the 2 is mapping with the variable x, and 10 is mapping with the variable of n. So it will multiply. What is the benefit of this lambda function is here only make the change. Suppose you make the multiplication by 3, just change here and run the program. You can see 30. Okay, no need to change the value of n. I want to change the multiplying factor. So in that case, we are using the lambda function. Here you can 5 and you run the program. So it is very easy, or you can say it gives the reusability of the function and give very good flexibility in the programming. So this is the power of lambda we can use within the function also. Next important topic is class. Is a very important part in Python and any programming language. Basically, Python is an object-oriented programming language. Object-oriented programming language meaning is it consists of classes and object. Classes basically is a blueprint, or it is a template of an object. I just telling human being has a class, like we have some feature we call as a class, and like myself is Shashank, so I'm an object of a human being class. So human being is a consist of a general features, and myself is consist of a specific feature. So I will call as a I am the object of a human being class. Same way, you can define the class and object in this Python also. So define a class is right Yes, hello. I'm audible.
Yes, sir, audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Class has been discussed. Are you able to understand the meaning of class here? Hello. Should I repeat it again?
Yes, sir. Please repeat it
Yes,
one
sir.
more time.
Please repeat.
Okay. Class basically is defined the general thing related to the object. Class meaning is consist of some properties and methods. So define a class in Python. You need to use the class keyword, then give the name of the class here. Here, student can be any name like stud, like you can use the employee here. Then we are defining a property here. Name of the property is roll number. Then give the value is here. Okay. So here we have defined the class with one property. Name of the property is roll number. Next, we define the object of the class. So here, this is the way to define the object. You can give the any name to the object, like you can give X and Y, and then we provide the name of the class that we have already created. So name of the class is student, then use the parenthesis. So basically, it is a constructor of the class. This constructor is by default provided by the Python. So it will create the object of type class student. So in this class, we have a variable roll number. So we can access here should be roll number should be mentioned here. Make the correction here. Here should be roll number. So we are using print p1 dot roll number. So value of the roll number will be displayed. So this I explained earlier. My question was if we want to make a class for employee, what will be the change in this code? Any student, any participant. Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, so I want to make the class for employee. What will be the change?
I think
Sir,
definition is
student will
missing.
be replaced with employee.
Good. And if I want to make one more property here, roll number, then I want to make one more property name. Then what will be the change? Yes. Just below the roll number, just write the name and give the default value. Got it?
Sir.
Okay. And I want to display the value of name, then just p1 dot name. So I'm showing in the next program. So what is the name of the class is here? Make the session interactive. What is the name of the class here?
Student.
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 Student,
Good.
sir.
Now here the small new thing is there is a init function. So init is a predefined keyword, and we are using here underscore two time underscore is here. Okay. Now init function is used to initialize the class property. So here the property is name and roll number. And we are passing some value like when we are creating the object of p1 of type student, we are passing the two value for Rakesh for name and roll number 1234 for the roll number. So this Rakesh will be received in this name and roll number will be received here. Okay. So when this name will be assigned again, now this Rakesh will be assigned to this name property. This name is the local name and this name is the property of the class, and the roll number will be assigned here, and this roll number will be assigned to the property of the roll number of the class. So with the help of the init function, we can initialize the object at the time of creating the object. Here you can see we are not initializing it because the init function is not present here. Here we are initializing because of init function is present here. Okay. So we have created the two object P1 and P2. P1 is initialized with the value of Rakesh and 1234, and P2 is initialized with the value of Ram Kumar and 234. Have you got it? Yes, any participant, what is the use of init function? Hello? Hello? Init function is for? Init function is for the?
For object oriented.
Like object oriented is there. Everything is class is the object oriented. Init function is for the initialization of the object. Okay, here you can see we are not passing any value. So object P1 is not initialized. Here we are initializing the value. Suppose हमें P3 we want to create a P3 here. So P3 student and just pass the value, same init function will be used. Okay. Now I want to display the value of the P1 object. P1 consists of two property, name and roll number. Similarly, we want to display the value of P2 object. It consists of two property, name and roll number. Now suppose I small change I want to make a section in this property of this student. So where will be the change? Only one line will be changed. Where should I change? Yes. So we write here self dot and name of the section and equal to section, and third variable will be created here. Got it? Now you understand the self. Self is a keyword. You can change its name also. The first argument is the argument which will access the object. So in case of when we are accessing the P1, P1 will be accessed by the self. When we are accessing the P2, P2 will be accessed by the self. So this the first argument is the variable, is a reference variable that will access the current object. Now see, we can have the how many function in this program? Very simple question. Any student, how many function in this program? Very simple, just use def is to define the function. So how many functions are there?
3.
Three functions are there. Okay, the first function is for the initialization, and second function is to display the name, and third function is to display the number. Okay, and what is the purpose of self? I just one more answer. Purpose of self is to refer to the current object. Okay, so the first argument in any function of the Python will be the self that will refer to the current object. So here we are just displaying the name, so it is taking only one argument. We are displaying the roll number, it is taking the one argument also. So one object is created P1 with the initialization of Rakesh and value is 1 2 3 4. Then we are displaying the value. Then I change it. Name I change it with the help of Amit, and we have changed the roll number 6789. So I'm showing this program in my Jupyter notebook. So this is the second program that I am doing it. You can see if I change it with the help of case and change the number 7, and when you run this program you can see the output. Here you can see the Mukesh, I changed it, Mukesh has been changed. Okay, I use here str. Yes, any participant, why we are using the str here? Because the roll number is in integer format, and we are concatenating the integer with the string, which is not possible in the programming. We need to convert the roll number into a string format. Therefore, we are using the str casting. So it is a type cast. We are converting a roll number into the string, then it is concatenated. So it is a program that you can try giving in the chat box. So I discuss what is the class and what is the object, how to define the class, and how to create initialize the object with the help of the init function. Next, I'm going to discuss related to object-oriented concept is the inheritance. So in case of inheritance, we are creating the parent class and child class. So here you can see this is the class we defined employee, and we have the init function with two argument, first name and last name, and we have one method print name. It will not take any argument. It will display the first name and last name. This argument is to refer to the current object. Now we are defining the child class. So we are using the class here. Name of this class is designation. Okay, so we are creating the first name and last name of the employee. To find out the designation, we are using the designation function. Now to make it child class, within this parenthesis, give the name of the parent class. So name of the parent class is employee here. So this class, that is designation, become a child class of the parent class of employee. So what is the benefit of making the inheritance is that all the functions which are defined in the parent class will be inherited to the child class. So this init function is already available in this designation child class, as well as print name is also available in designation of the child class. Okay. Now we define one more print name. So in the parent class, the print name has the only two properties, first name and last name. So it will display only the two value. But in the child class, we have created one more property, name of the property is designation. And whatever the designation we will receive at the time of initialization of the object will be stored in this designation property. So this print name has the three value, the first name, last name, which is already defined in the parent class, and designation property, which is defined in the child class. So we have the two class. This is the class 1 and this is the class 2. Class 2 is the child class, class 1 is the parent class. Now you can create the object of any class. So when I've created the object of a parent class, so it will take only two arguments because only two properties defined here, first name and last name. So it will take only two arguments, Rajesh and Sarma. When we are taking the child class, defining the object of a child class, so child class included one more property, that is the designation. So it can take three variables, Rajesh, first name, last name, and designation. So the child class will create the with the help of three arguments. Two arguments are already created in the parent class. Now we are using the print name. When we are using x dot print name, so this print name is the method of the parent class, and this print name is the method of the child class. Yes, have you got it? What is the x dot print name? Which print name will be called? Whether the print name method of parent class will be called or child class will be called?
Sir, parent class.
Good, very good. And in the y dot print name, it will be called the child class.
Sir, child class.
So this is called polymorphism. Is a new term, that is we are overriding. So child class print name this is the child class print name function. This is the just hold on. This is the child class print name function is overriding the print name function of the parent class. And one more understanding is super method. So we have the two init function, one init function in the child class and second init function, sorry, first init function in the parent class and second init function in the child class. Okay. So when we inherit the parent class in the child class, all the init method will be also available in the child class. So init method of the parent has two variables. So we need to call first init method of the parent class, then we call the init method of the child class. So super is the keyword which is used to call the parent init method of the parent class. You got the concept for super method. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
super is used to call the uh, init initialization method of the parent class. So showing the output for this one. So this is the program. And when you run this program, you get the output. Just make the change so the output will be visible to all of you. Here you can see the output is here we have print name. This print name is for the parent class and this print name is for the child class. So I'm giving the code. If you want to run this program, it is a good program to understand the inheritance as well as polymorphism. Okay. So the next topic is iterator. Basically, it is an object. Now you have the concept of object. So you can understand the meaning of this object that it creates on the number of values. So here is we defined an data structure. Anyone can tell whether it is a list, tuple, set, or dictionary. This institute data structure is a list, tuple, set, or dictionary. Yes, any participant? List we are using the bracket, tuple we are using the parenthesis, so it is a tuple. Now iter is a predefined keyword. I want the iterator of this tuple. Name of the tuple is institute, and when the iterator will return, it will store in a object one. Object one is a user defined. It can be P1, P2, P3, or it can be XYZ. But iter is the predefined keyword, and we are using the name of the data structure. Here you can give list, tuple, dictionary, and set. The importance of creating the iterator is that you can use the next function to navigate from each item. So when first time it will display the AKGM, second it will display the AKGC, third it will display the ABS. So when the iterator object, or you can say iter of a particular data structure is created, then it becomes an easy to navigate from each item. Okay, one my query is there. I discussed recently how to access each item of build of this data structure. If you are not using the iterator, what is the option to navigate from each item of the data structure? Any idea from anyone? Suppose we are not interested to use the iterator. How will you display the each item of a data structure? I recently discussed in this PPT. Yes, any participant?
Sir, initializing value.
No, that is the part of class. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो अगर आपने हर एक आइटम से आपको डिस्प्ले करना है, जैसे आपने लिस्ट क्रिएट किया, टपल क्रिएट किया, डिक्शनरी क्रिएट किया, और उससे हर एक आइटम से आपको एक एक वैल्यू डिस्प्ले करनी है, तो क्या यूज करेंगे? इटरेटर का अगर हम यूज नहीं करते हैं तो व्हाट इज द ऑप्शन? आई एम शोइंग द ऑप्शन. Any idea which loop you will use? Yes, anyone?
For loop.
For loop. For loop. Okay. If you are not using the iterator, the same thing can be executed with the help of the for loop. Just use the variable of x and name of the data structure, and just use either x, or better to use index here. So you can use this approach if you are not using the iterator. So it is your choice. Either you go with the for loop or go with the iterator. But most of the time in research, iterator object is created because object itself consists of its own advantages. So we are using the separate method for navigating from each item of the object. You got the point? iter हम यूज नहीं करेंगे तो क्या यूज करेंगे हम?
Sir, for loop.
Very good. ठीक है? So we use the follow. It is your choice. The best one is for the research. When you look for the research code या any machine learning code, they are mostly using the iterator instead of the for loop. Now polymorphism, formal definition. So polymorphism meaning is many form. That is, same name can be executed on many objects and class. So I'm showing a code. Here, this is not there. Okay. Tell me where is the polymorphism is there? Polymorphism meaning is same name function. So tell me the name of the function. A class is defined, then object is defined. In the class, we have the three function. Where is polymorphism is implemented? Hello, anyone? The first function is init. Second function name is disp. Again, third function name is disp. So the definition of polymorphism is same name. So more than one function can have the same name. So here this is the function 1 and this is the function 2 with the same name. So disp and this disp is implementing the concept of polymorphism. It has same name, same work with on different data. This display is working on the name data and this display is working on the roll number data. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want to make the third method disp without any parameter. So what will be the change? So we write the disp will be written. So writing some mistake. I want the disp method without any parameter. So what you will do, you will write the disp, then write the self only. So third function can be created without the any parameter. Self may be there because accessing the object. Okay. So this meaning is we have the same name. for more than one function, but these functions are working on the different data types. Any question here? Yes, any question? Okay, so I'm running this program also. See the program. This is the iterator. I'm running this program with make some changes. So you can see this object is created with the help of iterator. Then we have polymorphism concept. The code is mentioned here. Okay, I just so you can observe the changes. So you can observe here Umesh has been changed. So it is the polymorphism is implemented. We have two display function. One is with the one variable name and second is with the variable of roll number. Okay. So till now I discuss important concept of the Python, like how to write the basic program of the Python. Then I discuss important data structure, list, tuple, set, and dictionary. Then I discuss about what is the classes, how to create the classes in the Python, and the concept of inheritance and polymorphism. Now, Python is not limited for the basic programming. It is used basically for the research work. So when we are going for the research work, then we can use predefined modules or predefined library. I just giving a brief idea about what are these predefined libraries, and I will also show a one machine learning program which has been written in the Python. So one of the important library is NumPy. NumPy is the basically is a numerical Python, and it is working on arrays. Very important part just to remember it. Arrays are not supported by Python. Like in any C and C++, we can create the array. But in the Python, there is a no option to create the array. Any idea to any participant, then how to work on the arrays? Any idea? You know about arrays are the basic data structure of any programming language, but it is not supported in the Python. Yes, any student? So remember the Python is not array is not supported by the Python. Then what is the option? Because array is a very important part we need to create for any programming, any software development. So the array is created with the help of the list. So I think you remember in my presentation I discuss list is created with the help of the brackets. So basically it is a list that is converted into the array, and we are using the numpy is the predefined library, and it is imported whenever we are using the predefined library. We need to import first, and we can give a reference variable name. It is a new name for this numpy, or you can say short name of this numpy. So np, you can take any name here. So NP is the representation of NumPy, and NumPy basically working on arrays, and there are many functions related to the arrays are available in this library. So when you do some research work, you can use the NumPy for array calculation and matrix calculation. Now I want to make an array, or you can to create an array. So first we are using the list here. So list has been created. Then we want to make this list as an array. Then we are using np is the name of the numpy library, dot, then name of the function is array. So this variable of type of array, and we are displaying the array. That is your choice. So NumPy is one of the powerful library to working on various functions of the arrays. Basically, internally, it is representing the list. Second important library is pandas. So it is used for the data set. So when you do any application of machine learning in the Python, then you have to work on the data set. And pandas is one of the important library, and we need to import it. As we can give any name, here the name is given pd, you can give any name. So pd is basically the representation of the pandas library, and we it is basically to load the data set. So I just given one idea to load a data set of in csv format. Then we can use the read csv, and there are many other methods for loading the data set. So pandas is available to working on the data set. Then one more library is matplotlib. So basically, this library is used for the plotting of some graph, and here you can see one of the important sub library for matplotlib is pyplot. So we are using the sub module or sub library of this matplotlib. So first we need to use the import matplotlib, then dot pyplot as a plot. So it is a name to refer the sub module is pyplot. Then we are importing the numpy to for creation of the array. Two array has been created. One is 18 and 42. Basically, we are drawing a line between x at points 18 to 412. So now to plot this line, we are using this plot function and passing the value of x and y. Then we are showing it. So I'm showing this encoding. Now first you can see it is the numpy. I just changed the value here. So you can see it will display the array with the value of 6, and the type of this list is nd array. So in the numpy, whenever an array is created, it will call as a nd array. Then we are using matplotlib library, and sub module is pyplot as a plot. Then we are drawing the value here, just change the value. So you can observe it. So a line will be drawn. So it is the way your graphical representation. If you make it off, then you can use matplotlib. And if you want to work on the arrays, then you can use numpy array, numpy library. This is related to small introduction about three libraries. Even though these libraries are has consist of many other sub modules that needs an extra session to cover it related to numpy and matplotlib. Now I want to show a research work related to credit card fraud transaction detection using the machine learning that is written in the Python. So you can understand, if you go for the machine learning with the help of the Python, then what is the way to write the coding for it. Now this is my Jupyter notebook. I have created many notebook here. You can save the notebook. One of the notebook is credit card detection using decision tree. Now we have taken a data set, showing the data set. So this data set basically it is in PCA format, that is principal component analysis, not in the original format. PCA basically is the used to reduce the dimension and it will normalize the value. Okay, so v1 consists of is the value which is more related to the uh, correlated, and v1 is v2 is second data which is less correlated than the v1. So here we are using only three rows for detection of the of credit card fraud is v1, v2 and v3. So see the coding for it. So as I discussed, we need to import the pandas library. Then we need to import the matplotlib library to display the graph. Then I have loaded the numpy. Three important library that I already discussed. Now I have to work on a decision tree. So I'm internally I have loaded here. We are using sklearn tree. sklearn is the predefined library, and from this library we have imported the classifier is decision tree classifier. So here you can see, just run the program. Now I'm loading my data set. Now in this data set, we have v1 to v28 number of columns. Then we are taking only three columns because of PCA, v1, v2, v3 for working. So df is the data frame. Whenever we upload the data set in the program, then it will be uploaded in a data frame df. You can give any name here. Now next part is we need to divide the data set in two part. One is related to x is the main number of columns, and related to the y is the, or you can say final column, or you can say where the output will be there. So class is the column where I will want to identify that whether a particular transaction is fraud or not, yes or no. Okay. So I drop this class column from this main data set. So X consists of only the number of columns which is needed for the prediction. Then I drop the amount which is not required in my this decision tree research work. Next, we have taken only three column data frame. So we have taken X is modified by only three column v1, v2, v3. So X consists of only three column. We are just displaying. Then we need the class. Class is the column which is actually define a particular row is a particular transaction is fraud or not. So we have taken in the variable of y, and we are displaying the value of y. Next, we are dividing the data set into test and train format. To divide the data into two set, train data set and test data set. So we are using train test split function. We are giving the x and y, and test size is 25%, and we are taking the random state 42. So our data set divided into two parts. One is in the training data set, second is the testing data set. Training data set is the data set by which we will train the model. Test data set is the data set by which we will evaluate our model. That is, we will find out the accuracy of the data set, accuracy of our model. Okay. So this is X is divided into two part, train and test. Similarly, Y is divided into two part, train and test. Then we import a classifier, decision tree classifier, and we are fitting our, or you can say we are training the model with the help of X train and Y train. Y is the respective output of this X train. So we are using decision tree classifier and fit the model with the help of training data set, X train and Y train. After fitting, we are going to predict our model with the help of X test data set. So the prediction will be stored in the Y prediction. Then we need to find out the accuracy of our model. So sklearn is the predefined libraries available. With the help of submodule is metrics. We are importing the accuracy score. Then in the accuracy score, we are providing the input y test and y predict. The data that we just predicted with the help of the model, and y test is the data set that we have taken with the help of train test and split function. So when we perform the accuracy, it will display the accuracy. So I'm just running the program so that you can understand. So we remove the class y variable, running x train. Then we are training the model. So it will take time. You can see it will take some time. We predicted the value. Then we find out the accuracy. So accuracy of this model is 99.97. It is after the running of the program, it is 99.97. So that is I discuss about what is the Python, and we discuss about basic structure, basic programming concept of the Python. Then I discuss some of the library models, and which is already available. Then I discuss about one of the application. Yes, any query from participants?
So, what is the difference between multi-level inheritance and hybrid inheritance?
Multi-level inheritance and
Hybrid inheritance.
multi-level inheritance meaning is single. You can say like parent one, parent two, parent three. We have a parent, then we have a child, then
And
again we
then
have a child.
grandparent.
This is way of multi-level inheritance. In case of hybrid inheritance, one of the example of multiple inheritance. I think you are aware about the multiple inheritance. We have the two parent and one
Yes.
child, and one child is accessing both the property method from the both the parents. That is called the multiple inheritance related to hybrid inheritance.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sir, what is the difference if we found while using Python and C language?
One of the basic difference is in the C language is a not object-oriented programming approach. Like we cannot create the class, we cannot create the object. There is no concept of inheritance and polymorphism in the C language. But in the
Okay,
Python is
sorry, sir. Difference between Python and C++. C++ is objective oriented,
yes,
then
yes, yes,
discrete.
yes, yes. Both are object-oriented programming language. In both programming language, we have the inheritance also, polymorphism also, and as well as many other object-oriented features. But the basic difference in C++ language is that it is very typecasting language. Strict typecasting meaning is if the variable is defined as an integer and one variable is defined as a float, then throughout the programming we need to follow these restrictions. And whenever there is a changes are there, we need to explicitly typecast it. But in the Python programming, these things are relaxed. Defining the variables are very easy. And second part is its statement is just like English like language. So it is easy to remember is one of the difference. Second, C++ basically does not provide so much good library for the research work. It is for the system software development. Like if you go for the Windows operating system, even though the Python is written in C++. So if you development of a system software, any programming language, then it is better for the C++. But Python is very good for the research oriented. So it is basically designed to do the research in the machine language. Sir.
Okay. And sir, in the sense of compilation, both are same when we compile some program.
No, 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 no. If you look for more technically, then C++ is faster because it is basically converted into core programming language, core machine language. So it is a faster. Okay, but Python, no doubt, we need to provide a different layers to convert into machine level language for programming. It may be slow as we move towards the higher languages. Its running performance is reduced, but it has been optimized so that it is not under the observation.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, any other query? Yes, super class is also called the base class from one more. We can say super class, parent class, and base class. All three are same.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. And there is no query.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Anubhav,
Okay. Thank you, sir, for making us understand about basics of Python, which include Python modules, tuple, set, iterator, and various Python functions in a very simple and efficient way. The participant will utilize all this in their companies, which will be very beneficial for them. Feedback link and attendance link is provided in the chat box. Please fill up the form. It will be closed after 5 minutes. Thank you for joining. We will be meeting tomorrow at the same time for SQL session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritesh, sir. Thank you, organizing team, for calling me and giving the opportunity to teach to the participants. Thank you very much.
Dear participants, about half of the participants have filled the form. Request you all to kindly fill attendance and feedback link. Those who have filled the form can leave for the day. We will meet tomorrow at the same time.